The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships, or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
Do you have a habit of showing yourself love, showing your kids love, showing your spouse love? So in today's podcast, I'm going to be teaching you how to be connected to your kids, to your spouse, by leveraging two things. You see, a little over 3 years ago, I was at a Warrior Week event, and we were up in the mountains with a group of men. At the time, there was about a dozen of them. These weren't just any men. This was a group of badass male entrepreneurs who were committed to being better at being a man. And then at the time, I was one of the coaches, and also there was another coach, Coach Sam, who happens to be one of my best friends. We share an office today together. But during this event and this experience and this evolution up in the mountains, he was talking about men and how they'd forgotten how to have fun, how they'd forgotten how to play and just let go. And if you're a man or woman listening to this, I want you to think about the last time you had fun. And what I mean by this is fun without drinking or any other mechanism that had you laughing, such as marijuana, maybe some pills or something else. But this includes with yourself. This includes with your kids. And if you're married, this includes with your spouse. But he began to describe how we have stopped being kids. We've stopped playing. We've stopped doing all these things with our own kids, even our spouses. And then he goes on to talk about men. Men have not been taught how to actually love their kids. Sure, they love their kids, but do they actually know how to show them love? And listen, if you're listening to this and you're like, man, I love my kids, but showing them love is a completely different thing. And so many times we'll say things like, hey, I love my kids, I love my spouse, but showing them has been the bigger issue. And the problem with this is we become disconnected as a society from feeling connected, not only to our kids, but our spouse and even to ourselves. So as we go through this experience and as he continues to talk, he goes on to give a water bottle to the group and says, hey, go make up a game for the next few minutes and just play. Do whatever comes up. Don't try to think about it. Just go create some type of game you can play. And for the next 5 minutes, these men played, they laughed, and they just began to fall into the experience. They completely let go of controlling life, and they fell into something that made them lose control. Now, do you ever feel like you're trying to actually control the outcome of life or trying to control the outcome of your experience? The problem with this control or trying to control every experience in life is you actually stop living life. And the pain of not living life and just focusing on controlling it is we become numb. We become numb to our kids, ourselves, our marriages, our relationships, and we stop having this inner experience. We start resisting this inner experience called life, where we are no longer free to have fun, to laugh and be creative, and most of all, love, but we become controlled by life. You see, and at this point, the painful reality sits in that I must be in control of everything, because when I'm in control, I feel safe. I feel the safest. Even as miserable and as safe as this feels, it's where we're the most comfortable. Now think about this for a second. Even as miserable as you may feel by having to control everything, it actually makes you feel safe and you're actually the most comfortable here. But this isn't old programming. This is your old programming controlling you today. So as we get into this story, a few nights ago, my wife and my youngest daughter went to Seattle to go visit my wife's grandma, who was turning 97, and to see her parents, my in-laws, and I was left home with the kids, my two older kids, which are 11 and 9, and I found myself the first night trying to control them. Everything they did, I was just reacting to everything. I was losing my mind, losing control, even though I was trying to control everything. And it's crazy when you think about this, is when we try to control everything is when we lose control of everything. But they were not having fun. I was not having fun. I was not showing them love, and I felt very disconnected. One, they weren't listening. Two is I'm sitting there trying to control every single thing they did, from being on their phones to what time they went to bed to how long they had before they had to close their eyes, to literally everything, when they had to shower, when they had to take a bath. But I decided that night, the next night, we were going to do something different. I was going to have to show up different, because there's no way I was going to be able to show up the same way that I did, nor did I get very good sleep from that. And so I decided that night I was going to take them the next night to a trampoline park. So I got off early. We went to a place called Big Air, which is a trampoline park here in Orange County. But within 5 minutes of walking in there and being there, I found myself no longer wanting to control the experience. I found myself losing control. I found myself actually having fun with both of my kids. And for the next 60 minutes, we played dodgeball. We were laughing. We were having fun. We were enjoying what we were doing. We were actually enjoying the experience, and there was no control. I had so much fun that I nearly threw my arm out. I had to quit at one point because my arm started to get sore. I even went to bed that night with a sore arm. But the point is this: after we got done, we went to dinner. We continued to laugh and talk about the game that we played and what we were doing, and how many times my daughter had won, and how many times my son had won, and how many times I had won. But we felt connected, and my kids felt love from me because I was in their world, in their experience, having fun. They looked at me differently. They acted different, and we were all in the moment. And guess what? There was no time for me to feel like I had to control anything. And this took me back to the first time on that mountain that day when me, Coach Sam, and these 12 men declared this very simple thing: love plus fun equals connection. You want to connect with your kids, you're going to have to show them love, and you're going to have fun with them. What might be possible in your life if you began to create this in your life on a weekly basis? You don't have to go to a trampoline park. You can go to a park. You can do it in your backyard. You can do it in your living room. But whether you're a dad, a mom, a family member, a business owner, whatever, this still applies. It doesn't just apply to kids. But what is the effect this having fun has on the rest of the areas of your life? See, having fun is great for your mental and spiritual health. It makes your body feel light. It doesn't feel any resistance. It helps you live in the present moment. And it completely feels like it changes your relationship. It feels completely different in a relationship. Having fun at work makes you actually want to enjoy your work and go to work. And let's be honest, love and being loved just makes everything that much better. But where in your life do you need to begin to experience this connection? This love plus fun equals connection. Maybe it's in your family, your kids, your marriage. Maybe it's in your workouts. Maybe instead of going to the gym all the time, you could just go play a sport once or twice a week and get out and do something different. Maybe it's not taking yourself so serious. Maybe it's in your business with your employees, stepping out of the day-to-day routine and the seriousness of work and just stepping out and having fun for an hour or 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just to see the energy change. Listen, the formula is very simple, but it's not easy. But I promise you it will make you and your life so much more enjoyable. So go find some time today or this week to have fun with yourself, your kids, your spouse, your family, your employees, whatever it is. And every once in a while, I get to remind myself that I need to have some fun. I got to show love in order for me to feel the connection that I desire from my kids, from my wife, from my family, and even in my business with my clients. So I appreciate you guys being on here today. If you are looking to connect further with a group of like-minded people, join myself and so many others in the Habit-Based Lifestyle Secrets group on Facebook, where I will be dropping daily habits to help you live to your full potential. If you want to be one of our next case studies and begin living this habit-based lifestyle, if you have questions, comments, requests, feel free to contact me, Jesse at habitbasedlifestyle.com. You can also check out my website, JESSEEWELL.com. Until next episode, have a great day.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse